Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. Today we're going to do my month of June closeout. The month of June is over for us and it was May 30th through June 26th. So it's all done. We've got the ending numbers for the month here and we're just going to see how we did based on what we budgeted. So if you're new here, we are a family of 5. It's my husband and myself, and we have 3 boys ages 11, 9, and 5. We do own a home. We do have debt. We have animals, all the things. So our budget is reflective of that. Our primary goal currently is to save for known and unknown expenses so that we don't incur any more debt, and to pay down our debt as fast as possible so that we can be debt free. So thank you so much for clicking on this video. So for my husband, we budgeted $4,400, but he actually brought in $47. For myself, I budgeted $3,000, but I brought in $3,014. For YouTube, I budgeted $100, but I brought in $110. And for egg sales, we budgeted nothing, but we brought in $54. So that was a total of $7,878. So $378 more than we anticipated. As far as our fixed expenses go, I just highlighted the ones that are of note so we don't have to go through all of them. Our AT&T bill was lower than budgeted. We did have a promotion on our account. My husband bought a new phone and sorry, mild interruption there. So for AT&T, we only had to pay $50 because my husband had a promotion. He bought a new phone, and if he upgraded his phone, he got like a $200 bill credit, and that hit this month. He did have to like pay his old phone off, so the money that he spent paying off his old phone, I gave him that money back. So it was essentially just $50 for the phone bill, which was me paying him the $50 he had to pay his old phone off. So that was less than we budgeted. Our instant ink was $1.91. The price recently went up, and this is the first month that we had the actual like price increase. So it was a little more than we anticipated, about 11 cents. And then our Navy Federal credit card, this is the card that we put our extra money to this month. Instead of paying $250, we paid $538.21. So it is red because it's more than we budgeted, but it's good because we were able to pay more than we expected on our Navy Federal credit card. So the total of all of our fixed expenses was $5,106.31. All right, so for our groceries, we did come under budget. We only spent $1,136.30 on groceries. The extra from our grocery budget went to our Navy Federal card. That's why our payment was so much more, because we were able to use the remaining funds from our groceries and cars category to help us pay towards our Navy Federal card. Cars was also less. We only spent $475.83. My husband and I each had a week off this month. Our son had like a special summer camp that had different hours than the summer camp that they go to on a regular basis. So he needed to be there at a certain time and be picked up at a certain time. So in order for us to facilitate that, we each took a week off. I took him 1 week and then my husband took him the second week, which in turn resulted in us using less gas for the month. So we only spent $475.83. We did not plan to eat out, but we did eat out. I think we had Zaxby's one day. It was $23.13. It was actually more than this, but my portion I gave to the budget. I deposited some money from my personal spending in order to help out with this eating out amount. So I thought my husband was just going to get him and me something, and he ended up getting a little something for the kids too. So it ended up being $23.13 after I gave my portion. For kids, we spent $178.31, which was $8.31 more than we anticipated. Our oldest son did turn 11 this month, so the kids category was so high because we were planning to go out to eat for his birthday. We did go a little over budget for dinner, so that is why the Kids category is $8.31 over budget. Home, which is the bane of my existence, it's always over budget. I did look back and see that May and April we were significantly over budget. Like we spent like $500 each one of those months. And then in like March and February, we spent like $100. So it is lower than it was the last couple of months, but it's still more than this $80. So I don't know, I did raise it to $80 and it's still like we're going over, especially now because it's summer and chlorine for our pool comes out of this, and that's like $40 by itself. So when you're only budgeting $80 and 40 of it is chlorine for your pool, then that leaves only $40 for anything that you might need around the house. So our household category, or excuse me, our home category is non-consumable items aside from the chlorine, because the chlorine is consumed. But it's things for the house like can openers, garbage cans, laundry baskets. Something went wrong with the washing machine and you needed a new piece to fix it, or filters for the refrigerator, things like that. So that's what comes out of the home category. So it's always over budget.
AC capacitor.
Yeah, AC capacitors for sure. Yes, that's going to be coming up in our July budget. We took the advice of one of you guys who said to change the capacitor ourselves and save us several $100s. It was only like $15 on Amazon. So it turns out our neighbor, who my husband calls our neighbro because they're like friends and neighbors, our neighbor's son is a AC guy. So he's going to put in the capacitor and the relay that we want to get done, which we were quoted like $500 from our AC company for those two things, and we were able to get both the parts on Amazon for less than $100, and then he's going to put them in for us for like $100. So that was amazing. I can't remember who it was, but thanks so much for the tip because it definitely worked out for us. So appreciate that. For homestead, we have a garden and some chickens. So we spent $30.69 on feed for the chickens this month, which was less than we budgeted, so that was great. So our total for our variable expenses was $1,958.69. All right, so that just leaves our savings and sinking funds. We were able to put $100 into our Christmas sinking fund since we did bring in some extra money. We weren't anticipating funding that, but we did put $100 in. We were able to put more in our variable sinking fund, which essentially is just like these funds here. This like encompasses our variable funds. So it's one fund that, if any of those categories need to be taken out of, we will take out of it. So instead of just $60.87, we put $268 because we do have back to school coming up. And we also have, my son and I both need to go to the eye doctor, get new eyeglasses. And we've had some medical funds, or not medical funds, but some medical bills come up because our kids have been going to the doctor a lot recently, and my husband's car registration is due in August. So we just got so much stuff that's getting ready to come out. So we're trying to beef up our funds so we have the money. The only other notable one here is our income tax. I took $10 from my YouTube pay and put it into our income tax envelope in case we need money to pay our taxes with when it's time to do our 2025 taxes. Last year we got a refund, but that doesn't mean we'll get a refund this year. So I'm trying to put a little bit of money aside every time I get my YouTube check to help us pay if we end up owing for the new tax year. So all of our sinking funds added up to be $813, which means we have $0 left. We have zero rollover. So that is a look at how our month of June went. I would say it went pretty good. We brought in more income than we were anticipating. We paid more towards debt than we thought we would. And we also saved more than we thought we would, which are all good things. We probably could have done a little more if we got our variable spending a little more under control, but we didn't go over a whole lot. $8 for kids. We did spend $20 eating out. And then what is this? 114 minus 80. $34 in home, but I think I'm just like not budgeting realistically for our home category, which when you're working with, you know, a $7,500 budget and I'm trying to like make all the numbers work and prioritize what's most important, like my goal, my dream is to only spend this $80. So I'm grateful to God that it worked out. We got what we needed and we were still able to go above and beyond with paying off debt and saving money. So praise God for that. I hope you guys had a great month of June. We're off to the month of July, the second month of the summer. Time's flying by so fast. Leave down in the comments how your month went, and what your goals are for the upcoming month. I will be posting my July budget with me after this video, so make sure you tune in. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.